Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pickleball and Politics, where I combine my quest to stay out of the kitchen with my passion for politics. Yes, I'm in a different location. I happen to be down south, having a couple of days of R&R before it all starts. We got Iowa coming up. We've got New Hampshire coming up. Oh, gosh, I love this time. I love election years. I love primaries. I love all of this stuff. So I wanted to come on today and I wanted to go over again some of the latest poll numbers and what's going on out there. It's getting to be so excited. I felt like we got sort of shortchanged 4 years ago because COVID interrupted everything, and let's have a really big full. I have a feeling the primary season is going to be over sort of fast, to tell you the truth. I mean, it's almost over now. I hate to say it, but we're going to start today with the CBS numbers. They have the Biden's approval or disapproval. Only 41% of people approve of Joe Biden's presidency. I say that in a loose term, his presidency. And 59% of people are disapproving of his job rating as president of the United States. Those numbers seem to be staying just about at that 60% week after week after week after week. And 60% of the people are not happy with Joe Biden as president. Now, I've been down here for a little while and I talked to people, and everybody thinks Joe Biden's too old down here too. So that seems to be the consensus, and something he can't change. He just can't change how old he is. Okay, we're going to start with Iowa because it's first. It's coming up January 15th, right around the corner. And Donald Trump is still just dominating all of these polls. Donald Trump is at 51% in Iowa. DeSantis is about 19. Haley's at 16. Those numbers haven't changed that much. Vivek Ramaswamy is around 6, and Chris Christie is hovering below 4. How long is Chris Christie going to keep this up? I don't know. My prediction, I guess I'm going to have to do predictions right before Iowa. I've been saying it all along. I think Vivek Ramaswamy is going to kind of surprise people. I think he's going to poll and much higher than they're thinking. I just do. I think his votes are going to be much higher than his polls are. Nobody has more excitement at his rallies than Vivek. It's just the way it is. So that was according to Real Clear Politics, and that was their average of all of their multiple polls. Again, Trump's at 51, DeSantis is just about 19, Haley's at 16. So that gives Trump 32 points in Iowa. That's huge. We're going to jump to South Carolina because I kind of weave it into what I'm going to talk about. So according to Emerson College, a Massachusetts school, in South Carolina, Trump is leading right now, 54 to Nikki Haley's 25. Ron DeSantis is at like 7, and Chris Christie is at 5, and Vivek Ramaswamy is at 3. And you know what? I just looked at that, and how can he be at 7? I mean, does that add up? 12, 15, 40? Yeah, it does. Okay. I was just looking at that and I'm like, Okay, so in South Carolina, Trump's got 29. That's Nikki Haley's home state. She lives in Kiowa Island. If you go back, you can look at a couple of my videos about my pickleball lessons in Kiowa Island with Alex. Hi, Alex. I know you're still out there somewhere, and Alex is the reason why my serve is what it is today. So my feeling is if Nikki Haley can't win South Carolina, she can't win the country. It's just that simple. I felt that way in 2012 when Mitt Romney was running. He couldn't win Massachusetts. You can't win Massachusetts. You can't win your home state. You shouldn't be president. That's just how I feel. So right now in Iowa, Trump's up 32%. In South Carolina, he's up 29. Now we're going to go to New Hampshire. And according to St. Anselm's, which is a New Hampshire college, Trump's at 44 and Nikki Haley's at 30. Chris Christie's at 12, Ron DeSantis is at 9, and Vivek Ramaswamy is polling at 6. Again, I'm going to tell you, I think Vivek Ramaswamy is going to have more votes than he's being polled. That's my prediction. So according to St. Anselm's, Trump only has a 14-point lead, and if you know, if I do think Chris Christie is going to stay in until New Hampshire, but after New Hampshire, I kind of expect Ron DeSantis and Chris Christie to be out of the race. I don't know when Vivek is going to step down. But according to UMass Lowell, Trump's at 52 and Haley's at 22. So we're back to 30 points there. St. Anselm's is only 14, but UMass Lowell has Trump at 30 points, with DeSantis at 10, Chris Christie at 6, and Vivek Ramaswamy at 4. Again, I think he's going to do better in New Hampshire. I think he's going to do better everywhere, Vivek. It should be interesting when DeSantis steps down. When does Chris Christie step down? That's going to affect, I expect the majority of Chris Christie's votes will go to Nikki Haley. And I believe that Ron DeSantis is going to try to swim his way back and maneuver his way back into MAGA. I remember last year when I was down in Florida, there were shirts everywhere that said, the DeSantis, make America Florida. And everybody was like, oh, we would love Ron DeSantis, Ron DeSantis, Ron DeSantis. And he's kind of lost all of that. Hasn't been a great candidate, to be honest with you. So I can see DeSantis definitely endorsing Trump and trying to make his way back into that mega circle that he was a part of before he decided to run for president against him. Now, the last poll I'm going to cover, I think is really, really interesting, is something we got to keep in the back of our head. We don't have to focus on it too much right now, but according to the Richmond Times, Biden versus Trump, they have Biden, just a two-man race, head-to-head. Biden at 49 and Trump at 43. So Biden in Virginia is leading Trump by 6 points. However, they also polled the Richmond Times, adding a third-party candidate and adding Robert Kennedy Jr. And when they add Robert Kennedy Jr., Biden goes to 42, Trump goes to 36, and Kennedy's at 14. He took equally from each candidate, from each Biden and Trump, which is interesting to me. Maybe the Dems are going for the Kennedy and the Republicans are going for the anti-vax guy. I'm not sure. But he did take equally from both, and that concerns me because if he got on the ballot and he takes 3% here and 2% there, especially in really close swing states, that could be really, really dicey. I don't like Robert Kennedy Jr. I listened to his book about Fauci. It was very interesting and enlightening, but I could never vote for any Kennedy. I just couldn't. I don't like any of them. So that's it. As you know, Iowa is on January 15th. New Hampshire is on January 23rd. Once Iowa is done, they'll all be in New Hampshire. And I can't wait because I will be there too. And it's interesting. This week in Iowa, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Christine Noem, Sarah Huckabee, her father, Mike Huckabee, Matt Gaetz, Ben Carson, they've all been in Iowa, and they're all campaigning for Donald Trump. And I imagine the same thing's going to happen in New Hampshire. I imagine so many of these candidates are going to be up in New Hampshire too. And I'm going to be in New Hampshire the whole week, and I can't wait to tell you about every single rally I go to. So as you know, you can reach me on Instagram and on Getter at Pickleball and Politics. You can go to my Twitter, Pickle and Paul, or X. You can go to my website, pickleballandpolitics.com, or you can leave me a message on my YouTube channel. As you know, I comment back, and then you comment again, and then I comment again. And I love your comments. Leave me a comment. Okay, Happy New Year again to everyone. Happy, healthy New Year to you, your family, and most of all to this country. It's going to be a crazy year, and it should be interesting. Oh, and I want to say one other thing. No, I'm going to save it. The next time I'm going to give you some predictions. We're going to do predictions next time, and that should be interesting too, because I got some interesting ones. Okay, thanks for joining me. I'll see you again soon on Pickleball and Politics.